know, there's a lot to do here. So you're thinking, what to do first? How about watch this show and see how to make the most of all the Walt Disney World fun?
WDW Radio, your information station.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the WDW Radio Show, your Walt Disney World information station. I am your host, Lou Mongello, and this is show number 447, and I'm here once again to not only help you have the best possible Disney vacation experience, but I want to try and bring you a little bit of Disney magic wherever you are with this podcast, videos, blog, special events, books, audio tours, and more. You can find everything over at WDWradio.com. So last week, I visited Disneyland to do some research, and as I ate my way through Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, I encountered and devoured some wonderful sweet and savory treats. So this week, I'm going to get by with a little help from my friends, and we're going to share our choices for the best snacks unique to Disneyland, and then ask you to share your favorites as well. I'll then have the answer to our last Walt Disney World trivia question of the week, and pose a new challenge for your chance to win a Disney Prize package. Then stay tuned to the end of the show for more information about upcoming events and meets of the month in and out of Walt Disney World. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode of the WDW Radio Show.
Hi there, all you wild animals. I'm Dumbo's friend Timothy, the top mouse here on the Casey Jr. Circus train.
Goodbye, Dinah. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to high on the icy slopes of the Matterhorn.
Last week, I took a trip to Disneyland for what else but research. There are big things in the works, is all I can tell you, but all work and no eat makes Jack a dull boy, so of course, part of my research had to include some of the so many delicious and unique dining options available at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. So this week, in the interest of science, I want to share with you my, or should I say our, list of best unique Disneyland snacks. And joining me this week is not one, but two of my traveling and dining companions. And first, because it's in her contract and I'd be scared not to, is Becky Mankin from MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, who not only made my Disneyland trip possible and magical, but she can make yours as well. Becky, welcome.
Oh, that was such a nice thing to say. You did kind of start out on a nice note, which I know that's just going to go down.
The fact that it's in your contract or that I'm scared of you.
Do I have a contract? I guess I better look back because, man, maybe there's something.
Most of what I said is true. Most of what I said is true. But the fact that you did make the trip possible and you made it magical and you can do that for others is the most true part of what I said.
That's what we do, and that's what the research is all about, right there.
Well, not really. That's not what the research was all about.
I'm going to live by that and stick to it. I'm sticking to my story.
And returning to the show is one Lauren Gaggioli, a friend, a fellow foodie. Is it foodie or fooder? It's like Trekkie or Trekker. I don't know. She is the host and the genius behind higherscorestestprep.com and the College Checklist podcast. Lauren Gaggioli, welcome back.
Well, thank you so much, Lou. Last time we talked about running, so now we're going to talk about why I run.
Now we're in my wheelhouse.
I'm excited.
Welcome to you guys do the running thing. I do the dining thing. And I appreciate you guys joining me today, tonight, and last week as my quote-unquote work trip was more like, it was kind of like a game of connect the dots between dining locations. Like, I felt like Pac-Man, just going through the parks, eating my way in between destinations, and usually those destinations were dining locations as well.
And it was a little bit difficult to unhook you from anything that had anything to do with a cone. So I congratulate you for being able to step away from the cone.
Listen, and we'll touch spoiler
I
alert,
bet.
giving one of mine away, but I did not eat as many cones as I expected or would have liked to.
I was pretty proud of you there.
I was diversifying. I was expanding my culinary horizons, which is very easy at Disneyland, because I think Disneyland, and when I say Disneyland, I include California Adventure and Downtown Disney, has so many snack and food items that are not just so very delicious, but are unique to the Disneyland parks. So that's why this week I wanted to share some of our favorites. And in the interest of full disclosure, we had intended on recording this live at Disneyland, and the reason why we didn't is because we were eating too much. We literally could not carve out time before the parks closed to record this.
Yeah, we kept saying, do you want to do it now? Well, but there's that other thing we need to go try. Okay, never mind. And we just kept hopping. It was not a good thing.
And a great many of those things were actually captured on video. I have to actually go back and see how many will make it onto Facebook and YouTube and the podcast
so scary.
feed. So
Just the thought of that is so scary.
we ate a lot. We ate a lot at which is
we kinda
easy to do. I think it's very, very easy to do, and maybe that'll sort of lead us right into it. So the rules are there ain't no rules other than
Here we go.
you have to have had eaten it. And it's probably not found in Walt Disney World. There's a little bit of gray area here and there, but you had to have actually tried it at one point, and it is unique to the Disneyland park. If it's in Tokyo or Shanghai, it obviously doesn't count. So I always like ladies to go first, and Becky, since you're you're not old. I mean, you're old, but I don't mean since you've been here longer. Lauren Gaggioli, I cannot dig myself out of this one. Lauren Gaggioli, I would like you to go first because I'm curious as to where you go first, and I don't want to steal one of yours right off the bat.
Wow.
All right, so glossing over the anger.
Oh, look at Belly! Look at Becky getting jealous.
Don't take mine. Don't take mine.
So I'm going to take you first to Adventureland. And this is something that, as far as I know, is quintessentially Disneyland. And I have not found any comparison in world. But I love the Bengal barbecue stand.
Let Lauren go first. Right out of the box, she steals one of mine.
Hey, I could have gotten straight over to DCA, Cars Land, and taken that. So, I'm going with mine. This is my standby. I've been an annual pass holder for a very long time, and I cannot even count the amount of Bengal beef skewers I have consumed in my 30 some odd years on this planet. I am, Lou, as you know, I like the spicy stuff, but here I actually go for the sweet sauce. So I really like kind of the depth of flavor that it gives, and I always go with the beef skewer. And it's just an incredible snack. If you get two, it's a meal. If you get one, it means you get bonus points and you can actually eat something else as a meal. So it kind of can go both ways. And I'll also say there's another sneaky one there, and it's the vegetable skewer that, frankly, mac and cheese is my go-to vegetable, but the veggie skewer is surprisingly good. And I discovered it a lot later in life, but that's something else that I sometimes will pair with that sweet beef skewer.
So I dig this for a lot of reasons because I do love me some Bengal barbecue. I like the location because it's right across from Jungle Cruise and Indy. I like the fact that it's unique. I like the fact that there's not just, you don't just go there and there's one type of skewer. There's 5 different skewers. There's the banyan, which is hot and spicy. The Outback vegetables you mentioned, which is just fresh vegetables. The Bengal beef has that sweet Zulu sauce. The Chieftain chicken skewer in the Polynesian sauce, and the Safari skewer, wait for it, kids, it's bacon-wrapped asparagus. The only thing that could make it better is if it was bacon-wrapped bacon. But the neat thing, what I like about Bengal barbecue I'm not saying this is how you should do it, but you can do it. I may or not have done this with. You can get the entire skewer menu for about $20. So, they're shareable. I'm not saying that you have to or that you should share, but you can really try the entire menu for about $20. And I like it because it's a grab and go. You can eat, and walk with it. There's actually a little place to sit and stand right there too. It's right in the midst of Adventureland. So Bengal barbecue, Lauren, was actually very, very high on my menu.
Awesome.
I'm on my menu. I'm on my list. Freudian slip, sorry.
Well, Lou's special menu. The thing, I love the idea of sharing, Lou, but the other thing that's kind of really nice about getting one or two is that it's pretty mobile, and you can actually go and walk a little bit down sort of like towards the end of Indy and stand there and watch the Jungle Boat cruise kind of go off, and you're standing there in the midst of the jungle eating your Bengal barbecue. It's a pretty awesome dining experience in and of itself.
Oh yeah. So what I like is because it's mobile, you can actually eat it on the way to eat something else. So by the time you get there, like bang, boom, oh, gumbo, it's gumbo time. Oh, here's my skewer. I'm all done. So it's perfect.
I like that idea too.
I have to take your word for it because I've never had anything there before.
Oh,
I know.
Becky.
I know. Truth confessions right here. Isn't that bad?
I was going to do the Becky
right?
voice, but
Yes.
oh man.
Girl, we're going.
I know.
I don't eat skewers unless
You're not going to start this
I'm
now.
sorry, I couldn't help it.
So early.
Queen Elizabeth hasn't had a skewer with me or
I was
something.
playing back a
Jeez.
recording from the other day. I didn't mean to hit play.
Jeez.
Downhill. Mrs. Mencken, I cannot.
great.
We have to go back, Kate. We have got to go back, and you need to try. You need to eat with the people and have some jungle skewers and lick the barbecue sauce off your fingers and get a pomegranate piranha lemonade and go to town.
You know what? If this is the first one, this is going to be like a 4-hour-long show.
No. All right. Okay. Well, you took one off my list, which is good. So, Becky, Miss Mencken, if you're nasty, you can go next.
Wow. Okay. I know you're going to kill me for this one, but sometimes you just have a craving, right? Sometimes it's for something salty, so you want chips or something of that nature. But sometimes you just want something that's pure dripping sugar, right? So I'm heading over to New Orleans Square for the beignets.
Oh,
yeah. It's a must do no matter where you stop. Obviously, the place with the mint julep bar is that hidden little corner back there behind the cafe that you just walk up and get the beignets. Depending on how many people you have with you, you can get either the 3-pack or better the 6-pack, or if you're alone, the 6-pack, or if you're alone, get a 3-pack and a 6-pack. But the great thing about them is that they're Mickey shaped. So of course you can also get, some beignets over at Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen. You can also get them at Cafe Orleans, of course, which are Mickey shaped. But just to do a quick stop by, go to the Mint Julep Bar, get your little pack of Mickey shaped beignets, and your sweet tooth is going to be satisfied. But of course, don't wear black. As we all noticed after we all walked away from the table, covered in powdered sugar. And oh my gosh, when you go back there in the grab and go section, that's all you have. You look around in the tables, there's nobody at the table, but there's still remnants of the powdered sugar left on the table or on the ground, or people are wearing it, one or the other. But if it's so good and the dough is so spongy and it's sweet and sugary like me.
I was going to say you're Mickey shaped too, but that would possibly take it as an insult, which I did not mean. But it is very reminiscent of New Orleans and going to Café Du Monde, and the tables are covered with that powdered sugar. And look, I think part of the experience in getting them from the Mint Julep Bar, and of course you have to get the non-alcoholic mint julep as well, is sitting outside in that beautiful covered area outside Cafe Orleans, and you've got the oftentimes live jazz music in the background, and you can look across the rivers of America. Like, it is a really nice, delicious, messy experience, and I think that they do taste better when they're shaped like Mickey for some reason. And the only difference between getting them there and getting them at Cafe Orleans, where you can actually it's a sit down restaurant, is they have a couple of different dipping sauces. I think there's like a raspberry or jam dipping sauce and some other sweet like creamy sauce. But I love it having it exactly where you said it and exactly how we did it, which is outside at the Mint Julep Bar on, a late morning, early afternoon, early evening, late night. Basically any time of the day that they're open is a good time for Mickey Beignet.
Indeed. I'm all up for that. Let's do that one again. And of course, you can also, when you're back there at the Mint Julep Bar, if you don't really care for mint julep, they also have mochas and cappuccinos and espressos and iced lattes and hot tea if you want it, and different beverages. So there's other things to choose from. But the key is to walk away with 6, 3, 9, 12, 18.
I call 6 an appetizer portion.
Okay.
But, and the other thing too is, they're served at a counter service location. You're right. It is sort of tucked away in the back of New Orleans Square. But I was really impressed at just how they're warm and they're flaky and they're very like pillowy and doughy and delicious and not that far from what the originals taste like in Disneyland in the real New Orleans. So I think it's a good Mickey shaped representation of what you would find, and I think it's a really nice mid-morning, mid-afternoon snack too. Get you a little bit of sugar, a little bit of carbohydrates in you, and it's nice with the mint julep.
There you go.
And the view is not that bad either. So where do I? You know what? I'm going to go there before you guys go there, because for me, what quickly has become one of my quintessential must-do Disneyland snacks, and it's one of those things I have to eat it at a certain place, usually when I first get there, and again before I leave. But I think certain foods, even though you can get them in multiple locations, whether it's at World or Land or whatever, they taste better in certain locations. And for me, the quintessential Disneyland snack can be found at the Little Red Wagon at the end of Main Street, USA, where you get one of those oh-so very delicious quintessential Disneyland hand-dipped corn dogs at the Red Wagon. There is something about having that snack there. They're huge. Yes, you can find them at the Stagework Cafe and the Corn Dog Castle, although I want to go back, and we found out there's a Hot Link corn dog, which I need to go and research. But they taste better there. They come out piping hot. They've got that wonderful coating and crunch on the outside, and they're really moist. They're not very dry on the inside, and they're huge. I mean, it's a snack. It really could be a meal. I mean, often I think you can get it served with chips or apple slices on the side. I prefer my corn dog just the way it was intended, just the corn dog with nothing on the side, maybe a little mustard and or ketchup. But and Becky, we eat it where we always dine, because that's how I roll with you. We sit on it. We don't sit in a garbage can, but we go over to a garbage can on Main Street, and that's where we enjoy our corn dog. Although you can sit over at the outside of the Plaza Inn right there as well too. So you looked up. We stood in line for it. That's a long line. It's so popular. That is one of the longest lines that you'll find, but it's worth the wait. And I'm with you on the crunch and the hand dipped, and the best part is like the very end where the batter is like really, really crunchy at the very end. So yummy. But we're standing in line and look over it, and we're like spying where the closest garbage can is. It's like, okay, there it is. There's our table right there. So grab the corn dogs, go over to our garbage can, and it is tradition, and it's a thing. And it's so yummy. And, there's a sweetness to that batter, too. Not overly sweet, but there's a really, like, you can have the corn dog with no ketchup or mustard or any sort of accompaniments on it, because it is really such a nice contrast between the hot dog and the crunch on the outside and the sweetness of the corn. I'm starving. We are like, I'm on my first one, and I'm starving.
This? Are you kidding me? You broke your own rule.
What's wrong with me?
I was going to say that sweetness. I've never had a corn dog so good as a Main Street corn dog. Like, they are just fantastic. And you're right, the crunch, but like it stays moist inside. Like, they're doing something right and magical. It might be like pixie dust that helps make this corn dog the best thing on the face of the planet, but it really is.
And I think where you eat it, I think I think the fact that you're on Main Street and the music is there and the people and just the castle, it for some reason it just tastes better there for me. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I might be a crazy person. Anyway, Mrs. Gaggioli. Moving on.
Alrighty. Well, this is one that I think I had mentioned to you, and I'm not sure you actually got one, but when I was at Disney World last time, I was trying so hard because it was so hot. All I wanted was a pickle. And I was walking around and I finally found them, and I had one, and I was like, this is different. The Disneyland pickle is an art form, and I think they are still the old school, like traditional dill pickle that have been cured and brined, and then they hand pack them. So the ones that I got in Disney World were like vacuum packed, and they were good. It hit the spot, but there's just something a little bit different about getting them at Disneyland. And the two places that I know you can get them are on Main Street. There's a little stand to the right hand side, about halfway down, and then in Adventureland, after you or before, it depends on which way you're doing this. After you get your Bengal barbecue, you can, wander over and have a pickle for dessert. And it's amazing. Like, the salty just helps so much on a hot day. Like, you just feel so cool and refreshed. It's one of my absolute favorite treats.
And it's healthy because it's a vegetable or fruit.
It is
or something.
Exactly. You're on to me, sir. That's why I have them.
Well, it's funny because you are not the only person to recommend the pickle to me when I was there, and I did not get a chance to try one. I met, I don't know who it was, who was like, oh, you need to go and have the she called it like the white pickle, I guess, because the inside it's a very like light color, but I didn't get a chance to try it.
Well, it sounds like you need a return trip.
Clearly.
That's what I'm hearing here.
Clearly.
I mean, you don't think about it when you're thinking about a theme park and what snacks you would get. You don't think about a pickle. It's just not one of the first things that come to mind. But a lot of people have talked about how great they are. I haven't tried them either, so I guess that is on the return list.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you're totally remiss. You got to come back.
What's nice is that you don't think of a pickle as oftentimes a refreshing treat, but because it's not super cold, it's not warm, and what I've been told too is they're not overly spicy or vinegary, so that it leaves an unpleasant taste in your mouth. There's enough of a sweetness to it that it is actually like a nice snack.
Yeah, it's definitely balanced. It's not super dill. So if people are like, oh, like the dill and the garlic and it's not that at all. It's very light. Like, I can't, and if you have any desire to have something that's refreshing and maybe salty or like kind of sweet out, because that can happen at the parks because there's so many delicious sweets. It's a nice little kind of counterbalance to that. Helps cleanse your palate for the next round of whatever it is you're gonna go eat next. So
I like how you already
palate cleanser.
That's why we're friends, because you're eating and you're already thinking about what's next.
Eating and enabling. That's the name of my game.
We all got along so well.
I know, right?
Mrs. Mackin,
Okay.
you're up to bat.
Yeah, and I'm going to go to something that I was just introduced to this last trip, thanks to Lauren and her pal. And you're going to have to help me on the location because as I took the picture of it, I have no idea what it was called. But I'm going for the cheddar garlic bagel twist.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I didn't even know that thing existed over there. And it's this little cart off of the hub. And it's something treats.
It's Maurice's Treats.
Maurice's Treats. Thank you.
Yeah.
These are huge. They're bigger than the corn dogs, and they're very filling. So if you're just trying to get a snack in midday to get you to dinner, that will do it. And it's cheddar, the cheese, and the garlic. You can smell it before you even get it anywhere near your face. You can smell the garlic coming off of this, and warm. And you can break it off and share it if you want to be so nice and share things. But they have, the savory on the cheddar garlic bagel twist, but they also have strawberry and chocolate, right? For the sweet, I believe. And
Yes.
that is so worth it. I think the cheddar garlic was like $5 or $4.99, something like that. And I would do that again. I think, dare I say, that I might actually go for that over some of the stuff that we went back to 3 or 4 times because it was so good.
Wow.
I know it. I'd almost give up 2 things that I'm looking at on my list for that because I loved that thing. And the fact that it's not something you can find at every single cart. You have to go find it. It's not like it's right in the middle of the hub. It's kind of hidden away. And that's one of my faves.
There's actually 2 locations you can get it at. You
Where's
can get it there, but we also found it right after, which I think is where we're heading probably very soon with Lou. And that's over at the Cozy Cone Motel. They have it there as well in DCA.
What?
Yeah. And something else that Disney World people will appreciate.
Why didn't someone tell me? I was not advised of this.
Wow. As we were sitting there foregoing the thing that we were going to do, but we said, no, we'll let Lou have another cone.
I know.
I know. We're like, yeah, we'll make sure he gets his cone.
You know what? I'm not going to say anything.
But what Disney World people will appreciate too is that both of those locations, if you're craving a LeFou's brew, we have them here, but they're not called LeFou's brew. They're like an apple freeze. So if you're like, oh, I miss my little go-to for Disney World, you can still get it here and you can try that pretzel bread.
I dig. I like that a lot. I really liked it a lot. Because I am much more of a savory person than I am a sweet person. So that was a nice little.
Yeah. Shocking.
Wait a minute. I think I just got insulted there.
You're salty, not sweet. Is that where we're going?
What? Hold on. Moving on. I am going to stay in the hub, and I am going to stay savory over sweet because I discovered something a couple years ago that I had almost as a goof, just to like, oh, I'm at Disneyland, I need to try it to see what, and it very quickly became, I think I had more of these than anything else while we were there. And
on a garbage can too.
On a garbage can, because that's how I roll. And you can find them in many, many locations. Chances are if they have a turkey leg, they're going to have this item like the skewers and like some of the things. It's portable, it's walkable, and it is, of course, the chimichanga. Just let that sink in for a second.
So good. These are so good.
They are the chimichanga. First of all, they are. If you don't know what a chimichanga is, the only way that I can sort of describe it is sort of like a fried beef and bean burrito. They're huge. I mean, they're probably 10 inches long, somewhere around there. They are. They're warm. They're crispy. The inside is so flavorful with the meat and the beans. There's no vegetables. There's nothing else in there. I'm so excited. I want one right now.
I'll see you bouncing up and down over
I'm doing like I'm shaking my hand as if you can see me like I want one right now. It's the right combination of. It's not spicy. I mean, you can add additional sauces to it, but it's got just enough of a bit of spice and not even like heat, but sort of spice to it to add a lot of depth of flavor to it. There's a lot of food there, but I think it's not like it's not. I wouldn't necessarily have it like for dinner, but it'll get you through between dinner and dinner. It's or a post-dinner snack. It's shareable. You can, and Becky, I was kind enough to share. Right, I actually did share.
Oh, yeah, you were so kind.
It hurt me so much. I was like, "You gonna finish that?
I can tell. I can tell. It's like, oh my god, I gotta find a knife. What?
They have. If you want to spice it up a little bit, they do have additional sauces that you can add on. In sort of little ketchup-sized packets. But I think that the chimichangas are exceptional, and they are absolute must-dos for me. And again, for some reason, I like having them right in the hub, right in the shadow of the castle.
They're so good. The only thing that would make it better is if you had like a sour cream that you could dip it in.
No. You don't want to mask. No. Listen. Slow down, woman. Don't mess with my like Deadpool, man. Don't mess with my chimichanga. You don't want to mask it with the sour cream, right?
I'd be fine with it.
No, because I think it's a really good. And plus, if you start adding sour cream, it's drippy in the heat, and all of a sudden it's not as portable. As it's actually served, the way they serve it is really nice too. It's served in a like a tinfoil wrap, so you could actually take it back to your hotel with you, which I thought about doing. But it's easy to. It's very easily portable. Stop laughing at me! I'm starving.
Death by chimichanga.
Can I have 17? Just give me whatever you got left. Just wrap them up. I'll take them back to the hotel.
Wow. End of the night, 50% off sale for those in a big to-go backpack.
Yeah, so I am a chimichanga kind of guy, and
okay.
I didn't hear you complaining either, Mencken.
I am not complaining at all. I am right up there. It was tough to go between the chimichanga and the cheddar garlic bacon twist or bagel twist because I like those two equally, but I thought, the chimichanga would want to bring that one up. However, what's odd about that, I just want to throw this out there, and this becomes one of, if this is on one of your two's list, you guys are twisted, but the turkey leg that's right next to it, and in the same cart, they also have the corn on the cob, which, again, to me, it's like the pickle. It's kind of odd. I'm not thinking about going to a theme park and having corn on the cob, but I guess isn't there like a sauce on it or something, or a spice?
Chili lime.
That's what it is.
It's that's good. That's good eating right there, and it's healthy because it's corn.
Really good.
It's really good.
Okay, you have that. I'll have your chimichanga.
Yeah, the chimichanga is like a little fried ball of happiness that just sits in your belly and gets you through to the next meal.
Which could be a chimichanga. Which
it could. Yeah, you never know. It depends how the mood strikes you.
Very, very high on my list. Very high on my list. So, all right, Lauren, I believe we are back to you.
Okay, so I feel like I missed something. Have we not done a cozy cone yet?
We have not.
I didn't put it on my list. I thought it would be the first one out the gate, Lou. What's going on?
It's one of those things. It's like it's like an award show. Like, do you lead off like with the big hitter, or do you save it for like the climactic, like grand finale, big
and
fireworks
Lauren just
explosion?
ruined it for us. Basically, is what we're hearing.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Listen, if you want to collectively do the cozy cones plural, I'm happy to discuss.
Oh, but the funny part is on the cozy cone is that all of us have a different favorite. If you didn't notice that.
We might. Yeah. Okay.
All right, spoiler alert. So go ahead, Gaggioli.
Sorry, I was like, I'm looking at my list going, I thought I didn't put this on here because I didn't realize we were supposed to wait. Sorry. Do you want to put it to the end?
No. I mean, it's
make this a teaser. Alrighty. So cozy cones. There's a lot of different things you can get there, but the one stand that has the cones themselves that are these bread cones filled with yummy goodness. My favorite's the chicken chili verde. It's this succulent chicken that's sort of shredded in this, like if you've ever had a tomatillo salsa, it's kind of like that, but warm. It's got some heat, so if you're afraid of spice, that's probably not the way to go, but oh my gosh, like I could eat 5 of those. No problem. It's just so delicious. But there's other variations on it, and I think we tried all of them that day, right? not to out us as pigs, but
listen, Lauren, we're not pigs. We're thorough. We are thorough researchers. You think I wanted to eat all those cozy cones?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I did.
I do. I do think you did.
So if you've never been to the Cozy Cone Motel in Carsland, there are 4, well, there are 3, sometimes 4 there. There are 2 that are always on the menu. Lauren's Chicken Verde with I love the little queso fresco on top too. That's so nice. My favorite, my go-to cone is always going to be the chili cone queso. Beef chili, cheddar cheese, and the awesome thing is there are Fritos on top. More Fritos, please. And there's a little, like a jelly bean on the bottom. There's one little Frito on the bottom holding all the stuff in, and it's served in the bread cone. You can actually there's a vegetarian one that's available as well. And there are sometimes two that are sometimes on the menu. There's a bacon mac and cheese and a barbecue pulled pork and slaw cone. And all these are under $8, or between $7.50 and $8.
Yeah, and that bacon mac and cheese one, it's got that cheddar cheese sauce for the mac and cheese, and then it has sprinkled bacon bits on top of it. And it is so good. And you guys, I know that you guys kind of like a little bit of the spice on the side, so the chili and the chicken verde. Oh, yeah. But I'm more along the lines of regular old, meat and potatoes. So the bacon mac and cheese fits my palate perfectly. They found a cone for me, and I love that. But it doesn't stop me from reaching over and grabbing one or two Fritos off the top of yours when you're not looking.
Becky, the thing I was surprised about, that was the first time I'd seen the bacon mac and cheese. I was surprised at how much bacon was on top of it.
There's a lot, and it's actually sprinkled on top, but there's also some mixed inside, and it's so good. Ooh. So you sit down and you kind of mix it all together, and you just get a big mouthful of bacon and cheddar cheese sauce and macaroni and cheese. It's so good. Oh,
and the other thing too is the cozy cones are it's like a multi-course meal, right? Because you start from the top and you get that sweet, delicious cheese and some of the Fritos, and then you go down into sort of the meat of it. You get right into the chili, and then you get to the bottom and you get that little and then you get to go back. And this is how I do it. I eat all the stuff inside, and then I go back, and you eat the cone. Right?
Yeah.
And what's nice is the cone is so thick that none of the good stuff seeps out of it, but it seeps into it, and it sort of absorbs it all. So when you go back, you get a really nice combination of that, thick, delicious bread mixed in with the chili and the verde. Ay, Dios mío, I want a cozy cone so bad.
So good. And of course, it's environmentally responsible too, because you're eating the bowl. I mean, come on, there's benefits all over the place. But
it's
that was brilliant.
It's like the old Frito pies. Oh, never mind.
What?
Never mind.
And what about the cup trick we learned?
Exactly, right? And Janine actually taught us the cup trick. This is like, you want to bring your A game. You want to this is how you roll. When you get your cozy cone, you ask for a drinking cup, and then you stand the cup in it. This way you can use both hands. You can use two spoons at once, one in your left and your right hand. So there's no break in the action. It's just like a
just inhale.
It's like a wheel in a circle of life.
It'll all be okay.
So now
so you can stand your cone up. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Janine's going to get kicked out of Disneyland now for everybody wanting to get cups to put their cone in.
That's so good. Oh, God, it's so good. And I guess you could. I mean, maybe I think there's, and somebody might go, Lou, you're doing it wrong. That's not how you eat the cozy cone. Forget the spoon. That's for amateurs. You just dig in like Fred Flintstone and just start biting right into it and sort of eat your way down the cone like an ice cream. I prefer to. I'm a little bit, I'm a little more refined and elegant. I like to use my.
You're
big
more
plastics.
dainty.
Yeah, so I'm so dainty when I eat it.
With your two spoons, shoveling away,
with no break in the action.
My two spoons and a bib.
Pinkies up.
And what's nice, I mean, as long as you wash it down with one of those Red's apple freezes from, I think it's a different cone. It's a cone 4, I think, but that's sort of that frozen apple juice, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Can we just stay? I literally could stay at the Cozy Cone Motel and just go from cone to cone to cone and tell you all the things that I like there.
Well, you definitely can, because next door to it's the pretzel bites. Which are so good.
Those ones are amazing.
I know.
Is that yours? Or is that what you're going with? Or are you?
No. I thought we were just staying at the cones.
You're just sneaking in. You're just sneaking in the pretzel.
Pretty much.
Bites.
I'm a ninja like that. Just saying.
Nice.
Went to the Lou School of Liz.
All right, so I got to pick a new one, huh? Are we going to just stay at the cones, or was that just...
I mean, if we stay at the cones, I mean, I can hang here for a little while, because Lauren knows that when I was done with my cone and then most of the other people's cones, I'm like, well, cone number 5 has all those different types of popcorn, so maybe I should... And I went and got... Is popcorn on anybody's list?
Of course, but the cool part is that this time, remember how we've gone back and they usually have only one or two types of flavors of popcorn? This time they had, what, 6? 5 or 6?
5 or 6. Wait. I should, in the interest of being thorough, we did say that, when you go to the Cozy Cone, if you go there in the morning, they actually have breakfast cones too. We did not actually make it over there for breakfast. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have breakfast cones as well.
All right, so basically what you're telling me right here.
You can eat at the Cozy Cone. You can stay at the Cozy Cone all day and night and not eat the same thing twice.
All you need is a blankie, and you can spend the night there, and you can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and spend the night and wake up again. That's your heaven.
The dream
Montello heaven.
Montello's dream suite is the Cozy Cone.
Right, because if you've never been before, there's 5 different cones. The first one has the churro bites. The second has soft serve ice cream and root beer floats. The third one has all of the different edible Cozy Cone treats. The fourth one has the pretzel bites with the Red's Apple Freeze, and the fifth one has it used to be 2 different daily popcorn flavors, but now it seems like they have all of them all the time. What?
And we're not going to complain, I don't think.
No. That's not a complaint. That's like OMG. How do I decide?
One of each.
You laugh as if that didn't cross my mind when I was there. I'm going to try and remember what they had. I know they had obviously regular butter. They had dill pickle. They had sriracha. I think a buffalo chicken, salt and vinegar, nacho cheese. I mean, there was 7 or so different ones that they had, because now what they do is they make the popcorn and then they add the flavorings right in later. So rather than rotate them through, you can have whichever one you like. I wanted to get the sriracha, but in the interest of shareability, and I know, not everybody likes a little bit of spice, so I got the dill pickle instead.
They also have a white cheddar and a garlic parmesan were the 2 that I love the most.
Hello.
And then for those who don't want any flavor, they also just have a regular buttered popcorn as well. So there's a lot of choice there for a quick grab-and-go snack, and you can also get it in one of the Lightning McQueen souvenir buckets. I mean, that's the one thing about Disneyland, too, and World as well, is this phenomenon about the popcorn bucket is now really coming to light. And between Lightning McQueen and a TIE Fighter or the Mickey balloon head, which was a big deal for the 60th, lots of opportunities to put your popcorn in something if you don't want it in a cone. I know, blasphemy.
Now I'm thinking about those little pretzel balls with all that salt on them, and you dip them in that.
Yeah. I know. That was so good. But now that I know that there's the cheddar garlic bacon twist there, I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do. There's going to be a choice. That's bad. Yeah, you could. You could literally just live there for 3 days.
Right. You do a breakfast. Right. You do a breakfast cone with like the egg and bacon and cheese, and then for like a snack you have pretzel bites, and then for lunch you have like chili con queso, and then for another snack you go like for churros, and then for dinner you have the chicken verde, and then for another snack you have popcorn and ice cream.
There we go. We've got our next trip all planned right here.
Thank you, Becky Megan of Mouse and Travel for.
Sorry, I got very excited.
That's all right, but over at number 3, remember, right? I'm going to bring this up, and you're going to say shocking. But over at beverages for Cone 3, they also have the vodka and pomegranate limeade.
Shocker! Excuse me, pardon me.
Eventually, alcohol would have to come up on my list. You know that, and since we're sitting at the cones, those are really good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Becky found firsthand they don't like you to bring your own flask into the park.
Oh my!
So.
Yeah, exactly. They took it away from me, and what am I going to do?
My mouse
right, so
fan,
I guess
my mouse fan flask. I'm sorry. Yes, we're moving on to wherever you're going next.
Yeah. Oh, you want to tell everybody what you got me for Christmas last year? Was my mouse fan flask? Nice. Yeah, that was probably one of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever received from you.
It's the gift that keeps on giving all year long. Moving on.
Boy, doesn't it ever. All right. So I'm going to go a different direction. Something that I've had it before, but I did not. We didn't have a chance to go have it this time, and you're going to go shocking again, but I'm going to go here, and you're just going to work with me, go with me for a minute. But over at Carthay Circle in the lounge, which, by the way, I think has a better menu sometimes than Carthay Circle itself, but that's just my opinion because there's a lot of shareable bites and plates that you can get over at the lounge. But they have this little snack, if you're going for sweet again, and notice how I keep moving towards the sweet. They have something that they made for the Diamond Celebration. I had it when I was there on my last trip, but it's the Diamond Celebration truffles.
What?
I know. But this is for the 21 and over set because the truffles are filled with different beverage tastes. So one of them is the Carthay Manhattan. One is the Brown Derby. One is the B52 coffee truffle, which I loved. And another one is the tiramisu truffle, and they all are served together on one plate. So for a snack, if you just want to stop in, have a Diet Coke if you want, or a rum and Coke if you want, because it is the lounge at Carthay Circle, stop and have, and if you really want just that little sweet taste of something different, the Diamond Celebration truffle set is amazing.
Interesting. I cannot comment because I have not partaken.
Then I guess we have to add that to the list.
Lauren, you know that as soon as we left, that's what she did. She beelined over there. She's like,
where she went.
I got rid of the dead weight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that sounds delicious. That we were there lunch and had snacks and they were fantastic, but I missed out on the show and I'm kind of sad. I'm gonna have to go back.
Gotta try it. That's one you gotta try. It's really good.
All right, so I think it's back to me. And remember before how I said I enjoyed the savory more than the sweet? Forget everything I just said because, again, there are certain things that there are sort of must-dos every time I go. I guess they sort of become accidental and unintentional traditions. And I know that I'm not the only one who's going to say, Mangello, man, how have you not mentioned the Matterhorn macaroon as yet? Coincidentally, a lot of these are right in the hub. It either means that they're conveniently located or I'm really lazy and I just don't want to, I can't get very far before I need to eat again. But this is one of those things that, again, for me is that quintessential Disneyland snack. It is a very greatly oversized, I mean in height, macaroon that's covered in white chocolate on top and then has white sprinkles, so it looks like there's snow on there. It's huge. It weighs like 11 pounds. It's golden brown on the outside, and I love coconut because it's a fruit, which means it's healthy, which means this is good for you. I love where you can get it from, and again, there's a number of locations, but for me, there's something about sitting outside at the Jolly Holiday Bakery by the hub with the music in sort of the long shadow of the macaroon behind you. I think it's one of the ones, like, you can eat the chimichanga on the go, but I think it's nice to sort of sit down and have your macaroon. You can get coffee in there. Obviously, the Jolly Holiday Bakery menu has sandwiches and sweets and coffees and things like that. I think this is a good place to sort of take a little break, enjoy your macaroon. It's shareable. If you don't either cut it or if you don't mind getting cooties, if you want to bite from the macaroon. And I think you can, and I didn't see it, but I think that you can actually get it with or without the snow. Like you can get it with or without the white chocolate on top. But it's obviously a real nice additional punch of sweetness on it.
Wait a minute. How can it be the Matterhorn macaroon without the white snow on top of it?
It's the summertime macaroon because it's summer. The snow is all gone.
Okay. I guess
There's
that's
an
an answer
Olaf
to my
joke
question.
in here somewhere.
There,
Summer. My brain's not working
Whoever
fast
just
enough.
said summer, don't ever do that again. But I really, what's nice too is, what baked stuff like that, sometimes if things sit for a long time, they lose some of that freshness and that moistness. And anytime I've ever had one, they must keep them coming out fresh because it's always been really moist and it's always been super sweet. And I've never met a Matterhorn macaroon I didn't like. That probably doesn't surprise you at all, but
Not a bit.
and it's shareable. You can totally. Did I share? I think I shared. I think I offered to share.
You didn't.
No. What is
That
this
didn't
share
happen.
thing? No.
But I think I didn't. Like I thought
No.
about asking if I didn't.
No.
Okay. We'll take your word for that.
Yeah, we sat there and watched you enjoy it while we were listening to everybody going on around us. But what was really nice, though, is sitting there. And again, it's almost like the beignets, where you're sitting out there in the middle of the park and people watching, and it's the atmosphere of the hub. It's kind of a neat little treat to sit there with your coffee and the macaroon and just kind of take in the environment and the atmosphere.
All right. So, in the interest of time and sanity.
Have 5 more.
Do you really? All right, so give me your go-to one, and then we'll come back, and then you can rapid fire through some honorable mentions. How's that?
Okay, this one we're going to argue about.
Wait, it's Lauren. Isn't it Lauren's turn?
Oh, sorry.
Look at Becky jumping the line, just like in Disneyland. Oh my God! Like it's either Lauren or a young child. She tries to just jump ahead.
Oh,
Mrs. Gaggioli, I
wow.
apologize.
That's not nice. It's okay, Becky.
Deep down, she's going, "Don't you know who I am?" Sorry, go ahead.
What? That's all right.
You see, you just did the voice. You just did the voice.
Oh my gosh. Roll it back. You can do it again. You can clean up the audio, Lou. You can just play it on a loop.
I'm going to make that your text tone. What? Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm actually going to stay right there at Jolly Holiday with a newer addition to my repertoire. I recently discovered.
I like the fact that it's a repertoire, by the way.
Let's not think about the fact that I ate this for breakfast. The raspberry rose Mickey macaron. So there's a difference between a macaroon and a macaron. And the difference is that the macaron, which a lot of people call macaroon, is the like 2 cookies that are stuck together with like some sort of a delicious cream or kind of like a candy paste type thing. And they're really like chewy French cookies, and they're just absolutely out of this world, amazing. And they have one there that is a rose cream. It's 2 red Mickey shaped cookies, and it's big. It's probably, I'd guess 3-4 inches across. And so it's not like the little guys that you get that are just like the 1-inch ones. This is like a meal in and of itself. And it has this delicious rose flavored cream, and then they stick raspberries in it. So you have this play on the sweet and the tart with the chewy cookie. And that is one of, I'm totally a savory gal, but like that is one of my all-time favorite desserts because it's not too sweet. And it just, you're at the Jolly Holiday. It's such a lovely environment, and it's a great one to actually share, not just think about sharing.
You say that, yet you tell us this after we leave the Jolly. That's Becky. That's why she went off on her own. She was
exactly
stuffing
why.
her face with one of her little Frenchy macarons.
I didn't even know that existed. I didn't even know. So basically, you went and bought one and then had it over in the corner and then came over and said, "So can I share your macaroon?" And Lou said no.
Nice.
I get it.
That is
okay.
exactly what happened, you guys. Sorry. Yeah, you found me out. Darn it. So we'll have to go back. That will definitely be on the list if we go back and put together the grand tour.
Now I see how you roll, Gaggioli. Okie dokie. When you were staying, I got excited for a second because when you were staying at the Jolly Holiday, I'm like, please talk about grilled cheese and tomato soup. But you didn't. But see you see what I did? I snuck that in there.
Yeah, look at you.
All right, Mencken, make this one count. Make this one count. Why don't you share one that you had without sharing with the rest of the group?
What?
Like Lauren did.
Wow.
Becky, oh, you know what? Why don't you call this one Becky's Secret Snack? The one you didn't share.
Well, I didn't have it on this trip that I'm looking at. I had it on a different trip, but not.
That's okay. It counts.
I
as
could
long
say
as you've
pretty
had
much
it.
anything at the Hearthstone Lounge because we all shared those. I'm sure that there's something at the Cove Bar, but the line was too long. Let's see. How about all right? All right, I have 2. I'm going to have to go back to that one, but this one I'm going to throw out there because I didn't have it on this one. It was, again, all these in the 60th celebration, they did a really good job of theming a lot of these snacks. And they did two things. One of them can be found at Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical Cafe. And it's the 60th anniversary cupcake. This is suitable for sharing because they're huge. They also have dipped apples that are dressed in 60th celebration as well. So that between the two, really good options. And of course, the apples are a little healthier, but you kind of have to ignore the 3 or 4 inches of chocolate that it's completely dressed in to make that healthy. But the cupcake has this white chocolate crunchy topping, a mixed berry filling. My favorite part is the cream cheese Bavarian mousse. Silver dust sparkles and buttercream trim on the cupcake. And they are, I think, probably 2 people can easily share it, and it's so beautiful. It's like in the silver and blue theming of the 60th anniversary, which when you buy it, then you look at it, it's like, it's too pretty to eat, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to eat it now. So that's one of my very favorite, the cupcakes that you can get over there. And again, they themed it very well for the anniversary. So that's another one.
I wish you would have taken longer because I'm trying to decide where I want to kind of end my list. Because there's something that I really, really want to say, but I don't know.
I'm not even done yet. I have 2 more. All right, let me throw this at you because this is going to be an argument.
Throw it out.
This will be the argument. The churro.
Yes.
And I know you said it had to kind of be in Disneyland only. We know we can get them at Disney World, but I'm going to throw out something that I know we're going to get emails on. But the churro is better and crunchier in Disneyland than they are in Disney World.
Becky at MEI
If you know how to spell Becky, that's the important part. But seriously, the deep fried dough and the crunchiness of it. And in Disney World, they tend my personal thought, and one of the people in catering had told me at one point that the humidity in the air sometimes make them a little bit more doughy, where a lot of people do like a doughy churro. But over in Disneyland...
That's my problem. See, the humidity makes me too doughy. I'd be so much skinnier in Disneyland.
All right, move to California. Let's see how that works for you. But then again, you would be camping out like a homeless person at the Cozy Cone Motel, and you probably wouldn't be very successful.
Counter purposes. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Exactly my point. So the churro, the deep fried dough, and you can find them at the bites, the churro bites that you can get at the Cozy Cone Motel, or the long regular churros that you can buy at almost any cart in any direction in either park. I think that they're one of those snacks that you have to have when you go to Disneyland.
So I'm going to allow this one.
Thank you.
I'm going to allow because, and Lauren, correct me, but aren't there a number of different flavors of churros that you can find at Disneyland at some of the carts?
You know, there used to be. And I have not seen them recently. Becky, do you know if they've done away with that? Because they used to do like an apple one, and there was a grape one, and I can't not do.
I thought they were over at California Adventure, but
they might be. Yeah, I never think to look at churros over there. It's only in Disneyland. I don't know why.
Like, wasn't it? I remember seeing. There was like a cart. It was like the something churro cart, and I remember there was like a chocolate one and strawberry and because I wanted to try. They had like a salted caramel and a toasted coconut. Maybe that's not there anymore, or I just wasn't looking for it because I had my mind on other flavors elsewhere.
So I'll be going back soon. I am happy to scope that out for you.
You're such a giver.
When I'm back,
you're such a giver.
I'll send pictures. There will be documentation.
I want to see more than just pictures of the sugar on your fingers. I want to actually see the churros themselves before you indulge.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do clear. That. But one thing I think would be really fun to do with the group is the churro challenge, where you hit every single cart in a day. It could be a relay race, but with food. I think that's something that has to happen.
I've never heard of this before.
I just made it up right now.
Oh, okay. I'm like, Wait a minute.
But I think it should be a thing. Like, if you can eat around the world at Epcot, you should be able to eat around the churro carts.
Okay, I'm in.
All right.
We're going to add that to. Okay.
And I'm thinking that you don't even want me to even mention that Rita's Margaritas is actually a place.
Dios mío. What, Becky, I promise you that one day we will do a list of 10 best Disneyland cocktails.
Haven't you been promising me that for like 5 years?
Yes.
Lounge review, yeah.
Yes. We'll do 10 best Disneyland cocktails.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you enjoy that. All right, so I'm struggling with my last one because I did try and keep my lists somewhat constrained, and there are so many sweet and savory ones. So I don't know if this is cheating or not. I'm not sure if I'm cheating on my own list. I don't really care, but sometimes I think. Sometimes
there are no rules.
If you were stranded on a deserted island and you can only have like one food there, like you can only eat like one food every day for the rest of your life, what would it be? And for me, it would probably be French fries. Like, I love French fries. They're delicious and they're healthy because they're a vegetable. And I love the pommes frites at Cafe Orleans in Disneyland. Now, it is not a grab and go, walk around the park kind of a snack, but they're not just regular French fries. Like, they are exceptional. Like, they are exceptional because they're tossed with garlic and Parmesan cheese, and they've got that little spicy Cajun remoulade sauce that you can dip it on the side. Like, I can and have in the past eaten an entire basket of these by myself.
You just like saying pommes frites.
Pommes frites. That's
exactly.
That's it. But I do. I love the pommes frites at Cafe Orleans. If they sold them at the Cozy Cone, like in a giant cone of pommes frites.
Oh wow!
I would literally just move in. And again, it's because for me, I do prefer the most times I prefer the savory over the sweets. And I just like saying remoulade.
So fancy.
It makes me.
I know.
So we didn't have them on this trip, but it's one of the things I usually have when I go to Disneyland. And surprisingly, I do not have 17 honorable mentions because I tried to sort of keep it. Yeah.
What?
I tried to keep it. Now, you guys said you did. You had a couple of so don't elaborate, but just sort of rapid fire, one at a time, back and forth, however you want to do it. Lauren, any honorable mentions that did not make the full list?
There was only one other one that I wanted to mention, and it is another sit down, which I thought we were only doing stuff you could walk with. So because you changed the rule here.
Well, I could probably go sit down and then ask for a bag to go and then wander with them. So
that's what you could do with the fried pickles at Carnation Cafe. There we go. Yeah, that's also a newer addition. I mean, newer. It's like in the past couple years. It's not one of those stalwarts, but it's so good. I mean, the seasoning's just incredible. So I would highly recommend those.
So are these like pickle slices?
So they do them spears. They're spears, not chips, which, truth be told, I prefer a chip for my fried pickles. I grew up in Atlanta. Like, there's an art to it. But yeah, it makes it easier for dipping. So, and for dipping on the go. And I if I remember correctly, you get like 8 spears. So it's almost like they use those pickles I mentioned earlier. We're on a kind of bookending this. They take those, they cut them in quarters essentially, and then fry them up with a nice kind of flaky, very seasoned, not spicy, but seasoned crust. And then, they're warm and crunchy and like moist in the middle too. They're so good.
And
it comes with a creamy.
These are Carnation Cafe?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it comes with like this creamy dipping sauce. It might be similar to the remoulade. I don't recall because I haven't had the pommes frites in a long time. But yeah, it's like a spiced thing. And you could probably get it with ranch too if you just wanted ranch. So delish.
Interesting. Mencken? I'm just processing that for a second.
Okay. The one I'm going to break a rule here because I know that I know, but it's just me. So go figure. I didn't actually have this, but it's something that we bumped into. You might remember. We ran up to a food cart right outside of the Haunted Mansion and looked and went, "What the heck is that?" It's like it looked like a small chicken in a container, but it was a giant cinnamon roll. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Those things were huge, and it was under the. It was in the warming light, in the gooiness, and it had a ton of frosting on top of it. And I was looking at going, that's what I need to grab before I leave the park to have that for breakfast in the morning. But that looked like a snack that I could definitely grab, but I hadn't tried it. That's one.
All right, keep going. Knock them out. Quick.
All right, good.
Go.
Pacific
Rapid
Wharf
fire.
Cafe. The soup in a sourdough bowl.
Yeah.
That's also really cool down there. Clam chowder, broccoli and cheese, and they've got seasonal soups there as well. That is one of the things that a lot of families say is their go-to. They've got to have it every time that they go there because, of course, it is the real sourdough bread. Much like you guys say the real bagels up in the Northeast, our real sourdough bread is a lot different than just any basic sourdough bread, and those bread bowls are amazing. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm. I was actually almost on my list.
So close. Flo's has amazing stuff as well. Their shakes, but they also have that apple cheddar piorama. Those little teeny pioramas they're amazing.
You just wanted to say piorama.
Piorama. That's going to be the new catchphrase. Piorama. It's so amazingly good. So that was something on the list. And last but not least, and obviously didn't have this one this time because I don't think if we would have sat down to eat this, we probably would have all exploded at that point from all the food we already had. And it's in park, where in Walt Disney World it's not in park, but the Ghirardelli place in DCA, in California Adventure, they have sundaes and shakes. And when you first walk in, they give you, here, little girl, have some candy. They give you that square of chocolate with caramel in it that makes you want to crave more chocolate. But they have hot fudge sundaes and different ice cream scenarios. And they have sea salt caramel hot chocolate if it's a cold night, which is amazing. But they also have what they call the Earthquake family favorite, which is much like a kitchen sink over in World, but it does have 8 scoops of ice cream. Definitely shareable because if you're not Steve Drew, you can't eat this by yourself. And I highly recommend families to just dig on in if they want a really good ice cream experience. That's my list.
Gaggioli, any final additions, honorable mentions?
Nope. No, I think I'm done.
I'm done too. I'm done too, but this one doesn't count. But I'm cheating so I can segue to a future segment. How's that?
Okay.
Because you can't grab and go these. These are I think they are only available as a sit down meal appetizer. But they struck me and stuck with me for a long time. And when you said Carthay Circle, I went back to the appetizer menu because they have fried biscuits on there. Now, as if a biscuit itself wasn't good enough, I want you to try and understand what this is. These are not sort of a southern biscuits and gravy biscuits. They are biscuit balls, right? Larger than a little bit larger than maybe a golf ball, maybe a little bit smaller than a baseball, somewhere in between. But these biscuits are fried, and wait for it, they're filled with cheddar cheese, bacon, and jalapeno. And if I could drop the mic and walk out of the podcast, I would do it because they taste even better than they sound. Boom.
They're amazing. And that is the must get if you're going to eat a Carthay Circle. You have to have.
How did we not eat a Carthay Circle when I was there? What's wrong with us? I mean, we ate everywhere else, but I know why we didn't eat that because we ate everywhere else, but I was only there for 5 days.
Those are amazing. They're so good. And they need a takeout window for those because they would sell out immediately. And of course they have the isn't there a butter sauce or what was it? Like a honey?
It's
what
like
comes
an
with
apricot, honey apricot. butter, I think.
Something apricot honey butter. Yes, you're right. And yum. Just so many levels of yum. You could make a meal off just that. If you didn't want to share it, you could eat that and it'd be good.
I'm laughing at my list, right? Because my list is like fried corn dogs, fried chimichangas, fried biscuits.
Pretty much everything on your list is deep fried.
Ladies, this body did not happen naturally, okay? I work at this, all right? This is so...
Lots of time.
But,
you need a punch card. Is get a snack, get a punch. After 10 snacks, you get one free. Really?
I would love to hear from you, my friend, the listener, who, if you are not hungry yet, what is wrong with you? I want to know what your favorite snack at Disneyland or Disney California Adventures. There's plenty of different ways you could let me know. You can go to this week's podcast, go to WDWRadio.com, click on this week's podcast, leave a comment in the show notes. I promise you, ne'er dare I say guarantee you that Becky and Lauren will be there monitoring the comments and commenting back as well. You can tweet me at Lou Mongello. You can Facebook me at Lou Mongello, or better yet, call the voicemail. I want to hear it. Better yet, I want to hear you as you're eating your favorite snack in Disneyland. 407-900-9391. And if you are not hungry and inspired to go visit Disneyland, then you need to go back and listen again and then go to mousefantravel.com, because they will help you plan your vacation, plan your dining, and plan your dining. And then when you're done with all that, if you are a student or a parent of a student or a friend of a student that's looking to try and get into the college of their dreams, please go and visit Lauren Gaggioli at so many places. HigherScoresTestPrep.com, the College Checklist podcast. Lauren, where else can they find you on the interwebs?
Facebook is best. I do a live show called Test Prep Tuesday where we talk about SAT, ACT, college admissions, answer questions. So if they're in that world and are needing help there, I can help them over at facebook.com/higherscores.
Nice. And if they wanted to stalk you on the Twitter?
At Lauren Gaggioli.
And I'll put links to all of these. And while you're doing your Facebook Live, are you eating? Are you snacking? Can they bring snacks? Is it?
I did it from Disneyland last week when we were up there. So I was answering test prep questions from right by the Haunted Mansion. You never know. There might be a field trip. There could be food. It could happen.
Oh, you would be the best test prep person in the world if you did a field trip to Disneyland.
I don't know
churro on one
how
hand
that
and
would tie
chimichanga on the other.
I would go take the SATs again just for that.
We know, Lou.
Wait a minute. How about this? Right? What if they I don't know what the scale is that do they still scale on 1600? Is that the?
Yeah. Well, SATs now back to 1600. Yeah.
So if you get a perfect score on the SAT, Lauren will buy you a churro at Disneyland.
And eat it herself.
Yes. I mean, she's not going to buy it for you. She's going to buy it in your honor and eat it.
Ew.
Wouldn't be good.
Don't eat it.
Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much. We had a wonderful calorie-filled time in Disneyland last week. We have got to do this again sometime soon.
I'm sitting here working on the next dates because we have quite a list and we already know what we're eating when we go.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back. Stretchy pants. That's where I need to start. WDW Radio Stretchy Pants.
There you go.
For all your vacation planning needs.
Old devil legs.
I should send them. Send them with your ADRs. Get stretchy pants.
Stretchy pants. Free stretchy pants.
You have like a chimichanga pocket on the side, like Han Solo. You can whip that thing out like as soon as you need it.
Doubles as a churro holder.
Oh no! Oh,
we have to design these.
Someone's going to build it and send it.
That would be awesome.
It's gonna have like a chimichanga thing, and it's gonna have a table that looks like a garbage can that flips down, so you can like put your corn dog on it.
It's like, remember the old cigarette, Becky, you remember this, the old cigarette girls from like the 20s and 30s, like that would have like a little fold down like tray. That's what we need. Just walk around the parks with your own tray, like on a harness, like a papoose, like a tray papoose.
It's the new fanny pack. It's just as stylish, y'all.
Put your hands up.
time for our Walt Disney World Trivia Question of the Week, where I invite you to test your knowledge of Walt Disney World history or see how well you pay attention to the details, not just in what you see, but sometimes in what you hear. If you think you know the answer, you can enter via email or the form on our website for a chance to win a Disney prize package. Before we get to this week's question, let's go back, review last week's, and select our winner. So on the last show, I talked about a technology and really a device that Disney uses throughout the parks and attractions called a smellitzer, which pumps out different scents from cookies on Main Street to oranges and Soarin'. They are literally found throughout the entire resort in order to enhance your experience. And your question last week was to tell me, on what Walt Disney World attraction can you find the scent of sweet, warm apple pie? And again, hundreds of you entered, got this one correct. You know, of course, that it is Mickey's PhilharMagic in Fantasyland. What you might not know is that the smellitzer was invented at Walt Disney World by Bob McCarthy, who was an Imagineer. And sort of think about a smellitzer like a howitzer. It actually literally launches smells instead of shells into the air. Technically, it's known as a scent-emitting system on the 1984 patent application, but it literally blows those smells towards guests throughout the strategic locations in attractions and throughout the parks. A much more lengthy explanation than probably you were hoping for, but I totally nerd out on this kind of stuff. Anyway, I randomly selected one winner from all the correct entries last week. And again, you were playing for my 102 Ways to Save Money for and at Walt Disney World book. All 7 of my virtual audio walking tours of the parks. You can find both of those at the shop at WDWRadio.com. I'm also going to send you a WDW Radio Magic Band cover, some WDW Radio stickers, and you know what? I'm going to throw in a special prize as well. And last week's winner, randomly selected, is Katie Duquesne. So Katie, congratulations. Please send me your address and I will send your prize package out to you right away. If you played last week and didn't win, thanks for playing, but don't worry, because here's your next chance to enter in this week's Walt Disney World Trivia Challenge. So you know me, I'm all about the food. Attractions are just things that you do in between eating. Your question this week is simple and straightforward. What restaurant in Walt Disney World, what restaurant's name means artwork, right? Things you hang on the wall, artwork. So tell me what Walt Disney World restaurant's name means artwork. Now, because I'm actually going to be away next week, I'm keynoting at the TBEX Travel Conference in Minnesota. You have not 1, but 2 weeks to find out this answer and hopefully eat there because I love it. So you have until Sunday, June 5th at 11:59 p.m. This week, you're playing for the 102 Ways book, all 7 audio tours, a Magic Band cover, WDW Radio stickers, and I'm going to send you a special extra prize that I got and brought back from Disneyland just for you. So good luck and have fun. That's going to do it for this week's show. Thank you again so very much for taking time out of your busy day and week to listen to the show and spend and share it with me. I sincerely appreciate it, and I appreciate you. I also want to say some thanks to some new members of the WDW Radio Nation and the family, also who I appreciate, including Daniel Manchi, Nicholas Menard, Fred Abley, so very much. Lori and Anna, thank you guys so very much. And if you want to help the show and also get exclusive monthly rewards, including scavenger hunts, access to our private Facebook group, custom Magic Band covers, backpacks, shirts, monthly care packages from Walt Disney World, exclusive live video group calls, and lots more, please visit wdwradio.com/support. It is completely optional and up to you, but a great way to help show your support for the show. And don't forget, too, that a portion of the proceeds of your contributions will go to the Dream Team Project to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation of America. Again, visit wdwradio.com/support. A couple of quick announcements. Don't forget that while you're on the site, please check out our blog, videos, subscribe to our newsletter, and also join me every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for WDW Radio Live. Follow me at facebook.com/Lou Mongello. Turn on notifications. I'll go live either from the home studio or out from the parks. Did a lot of Facebook Live from Disneyland last week. Thanks to everybody who joined me again every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. If you want to be part of the show, you can email me if you have a question you want answered on the show, lou@wdwradio.com, or better yet, call the voicemail from the parks, 407-900-9391. And of course, as much as I love connecting with you guys online and Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, I am at Lou Mongello everywhere. I think that nothing beats a handshake and a hug. So please visit the events page at WDWradio.com. Thanks to everybody who came out to Disneyland at Rancho de Zocalo for some chimichangas last week. Next week, I'm going to be keynoting the TBEX conference in Minnesota. We're going to have a meetup this coming Sunday at the Mall of America. We'll be in Chicago, back in Orlando again in June. I'm going to be speaking at Ed Camp Magic. And don't forget, too, I would love for you to join us on one or more of our cruises. We've got an e-ticket adventure going from New York to Puerto Rico this November, our double dip in Castaway Cay next year. Again, visit the events page at www.radio.com for more information. And if I could ever come to maybe speak to your business or your conference or to your school, visit LouMongello.com for more information. Thanks as always to Becky Mankin and her team over at MouseFanTravel.com. You can find them over at MouseFanTravel.com. And Tim Foster from Celebrations Magazine. Go to CelebrationsPress.com. Find out who you can subscribe to the magazine there. And as always, my friends, and you are my friends, whether we have met yet or not, all I ask is that if you like the show, do me a favor, please help spread the word. Let your friends know about it. Tweet out links that you're listening to this week's show. Better yet, share it on Facebook. And please take a couple of seconds, rate and review the show over on iTunes. Thanks to you, we have more than 1,100 5-star reviews. You got the show to number 2 overall in iTunes. I want to thank some recent reviewers like Sir Smith-a-Lot. I dig that name. He says he loves the show and the community that you guys have built. Watts RL, Josh Foster, John D. Robb, Hyperion 1982, and Marla in California, who, by the way, I just saw at the meet over in Disneyland. Thank you guys so much. Visit www.radio.com/iTunes to find out how to rate and review the show, or just search for WDW Radio in iTunes. And finally, and most importantly, my sincerest thanks and gratitude to you. I would not be able to do this without you and the love and the support that you show me in so many ways. I mean it when I say that we are friends met, whether we have met yet or not. And I am humbled and grateful to you and for you for sharing your time with me. And hey, if there's ever something I can do to help you, please, by all means, let me know. And just remember that whatever you are doing, whatever you're striving for, you didn't get that far to only get that far. So as Walt said, always keep moving forward. I hope you have an amazing week this week. So until next time, thanks again. See ya.
Hi, Lou Mongello. This is Courtney from Broken Arrow in Oklahoma. Just calling to say hi. My husband and I just returned from a week in Orlando. Oh my gosh, it was hot. I don't know how you guys do that, but we pushed on. We ended up visiting Magic Kingdom at Epcot and made sure to stop by one of your favorite restaurants, Skipper's Canteen. We also went to Morimoto Asia. So happy to hear your reviews and positive things about those restaurants because they were right on the money. They were really good. So just wanted to say thank you for your awesome podcast and all the information and the fun trivia. And I hope to be able to meet you someday. Thanks. Bye.
Hi, Lou. It's Steve, all the way from London, England. I'd really like a Walt Disney World, like, sort of a Walt's perspective on his life, you know, like Spaceship Earth, if you will, but around Walt's life with Walt animatronics from when he started the company all the way through the films and then up until we made Walt Disney World. I think that would be fantastic. I love the shows. Keep doing what you're doing. It's great. And I can't wait for the next episode. Thanks.
Hello, Lou Mongello. It is Jeff Coviello giving you a call from Belmar, New Jersey. Touching base, just finished the show on Wishes. Tremendous episode with a lot of untapped potential that I hope the Imagineers were listening to very carefully. I'm sure they were. It piqued my interest in a possibility of a journey into imagination hotel. I can just picture it now where we finally get the ever sought after taste lab. You can just imagine all of the children lined up with their Mickey ears to taste all sorts of different colored foods with different smells. And as they ascend into their bedroom, they find furniture affixed to the ceiling. Oh, the possibilities are endless. I hope it comes a reality someday. Thanks a lot, Lou, for all that you do. We are heading there in August, my wife and I, with a baby growing in her belly. So we're going to get the first mouse years of that baby's life. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, Lou. This is Becky Branch calling from Houston, and I was calling to let you know that, yes, we did understand what you were talking about with your last pie in the sky idea, and we were thinking that in addition to the idea of the murder mystery, that the popularity of escape rooms these days would be really interesting to integrate into Disney Park. I think a Disney-like version of that would be really amazing, where you could go on an interactive adventure and unlock things and solve puzzles with your favorite Disney characters. I also wanted to say that my pie in the sky idea would be a new version of Horizons, that it combines the technology of SpaceX and Tesla, both of Elon Musk's companies, with maybe some of the new energy technology for renewable energy that Exxon has been working on. I would love to see the two of them team up to recreate Horizons. We love the show. Thanks so much. Bye.
You've got a friend.